Everybody, I'm doing this a little different today. I've been going live from a group I have on spirituality. I always forget the name of that group. But I have not been able to figure out how to move that recording then over here. So instead I'm recording here, and I'll take and copy and share the link over there. So I'm going to try that this week and see what happens. What I want to do today is share a new diagram that I've come up with. Looks like this, and I'm going to explain it to you. On the title for today, I think I wrote how your system is always trying to heal itself, and our emotional system, our physical system, psychological system. But we get stuck. We start to loop. We go round and round and round, and part of it is because we don't understand how to kind of get out of the way, so our system can do the healing that it knows how to do. And hopefully this is going to be helpful to you in understanding that a little bit better. I've been sharing for a long time this idea of when we have historical anger or historical grief, and I'd always draw this iceberg like a triangle, and I would say that when we get triggered, just like in the Titanic, they hit just the piece of the iceberg that they could see, but that wasn't what killed the 3,000 people, whatever it was. It was what was below the surface. And that's the same, that's true in our, it's our subconscious that keeps us looping in behaviors that don't serve us. And, our thoughts and behaviors that don't serve us, and they keep us in places of lack, of limitation, of not moving towards the things that we really desire in our life. So as I was working on this, I don't remember if it was for myself, I think it was for myself, and then I've been sharing with clients as need be, and I thought I'd make a video rather than have to teach this over and over and over and over again. Just easier to say, you know what, I'm going to send you a link and you can watch the explanation of this. So these triangles are suppressed emotions. So maybe one is your anger, maybe one is grief, maybe one is anxiety, different emotions that you have that you start to feel and you panic, right? Seems like we each have our own that we use, that we go to as our default. So for me, I am going to default to sadness. Used to be hopelessness, and that's not really true so much anymore. I might put my toe in, but I've cleaned that one up pretty well. Some people will go right to anger. I used to have, things would come up for me and people say, like, doesn't that make you so mad? I'm like, no, it makes me really sad. So you have to, for yourself, which of those kind of constricted, lacking, those emotions that you go to pretty readily. It might be resentment, it might be jealousy. So, most of us were not raised to learn how to really, we have a feeling about something and it comes up. If it moves all the way through, then there is no suppressed emotion. So a child that's raised in a home that understands emotions is going to have less of this. But then, we get out in the world and we can feel, things happen and we're like, ooh, it's not safe to say that, or I don't know how to maneuver in this situation, and so I don't know if it's really safe to say what I really feel. Other people aren't talking about their feelings, and so we start to push them down, which really dampens our light, our flame. So the self-healing part is that our body, it's uncomfortable when we hold things in, right? We know that it feels uncomfortable. It's like a boil, or that is it's been infected and it's like ready to burst. So we can tamp stuff in, or it's just a sort of a natural time and it wants to come up and at least release some of that pressure that's inside of us. Well, how are we going to get in touch with those suppressed emotions? Somebody pokes us. It's like someone wakes a sleeping bear. The sleeping bear is these suppressed emotions. And so we get triggered, right? Somebody says something or doesn't say something. We don't get the raise. Something else happens good to someone else. It doesn't happen for us. And someone leaves us and someone betrays us. It's like, ugh, this knife in the heart, or like we feel like we get kicked in the gut. Well, that's a trigger. There can be little ones, where if they're little tiny ones, then we're probably just going to feel a little bit of that. Bigger ones, then we're going to feel more of the suppressed emotions. But we're triggered so that the system is ready to release some of the suppressed emotions. We usually don't release it all at once. It's like a chunk comes here and a chunk comes there and a little piece there and a little piece there, maybe 2% here, 4% here, 10% here. And that's why if you've been doing this work for a while, you may feel like, man, I thought I did that already and there's still more. Yeah, well, if we've been holding stuff in because we didn't know how to do it differently, for decades, there's some gunk that's been built up, right? All right. So what I wrote here in the top, if I can read backwards, a trigger comes in and we begin to feel. And usually those feelings are uncomfortable, right? Who likes to feel threatened or anxious or really sad or really angry? They are uncomfortable feelings. So at that point, when we start to feel, we have a choice. So we can go into blaming the other person, criticizing the other person so that we feel better about ourselves. We can go into addictive behaviors to push it back down. So, so it takes that edge off. We don't feel it again. That's a choice. We can do that. It's okay if you want to do that. It's going to keep things looping. Or you can just be willing to feel the feeling, to honor yourself, to have compassion for that part of yourself that is feeling the sadness, the grief, the pain, the ache, the hurt, the jealousy. Just like really be willing to feel it. We've done this a little bit where either through tapping, where even though I feel angry, even though I feel anxious, I'm willing to feel all of my feelings and still love and accept myself. So that, or we can just put our hands on our heart, deep breath. Wow, I feel really sad right now. There's a lot of sadness in here, and I'm just putting my attention on and breathing with it. Okay? So we can use, and those are releasing techniques. So we acknowledge it. What we put our attention on will move. Okay? So if you put our attention like holding in, well, we're going to hold it in. But we want it to come up and move through, because that's going to, over time, give us more ease, more peace in our life. All right. So, as I said, we can have different ones. Well, the other day when I was working on this piece came in. And here at the core of us, deep inside, we could say it in our heart, in our core, whatever, is the innate truth of who we are as spiritual beings. Love, light, peace, joy, gratitude, bliss, right? And we have all been gifted that. That's innate within us. But you can see that if these are all filled up with suppressed emotions, we have a harder time accessing this. It's like there's a congestion in the system. We talk about congestive heart disease. This is, in a sense, congestive heart disease, congestive love, because we can't access it. So we wonder why we're depressed all the time. We can't find our joy, why we're confused, why we keep spinning, right? So as, say we get triggered, we start to feel, and maybe we start to go into the blame or spinning in the story. Well, he said this and she said this, and then we catch ourselves like, oh wow, this is the choice point. If I do that, this is gonna go down. It's even gonna probably build more pressure over time. Or I can choose to just be with what is, fully feel it, fully accept it, be with it. And then, because the energy wants to come up and move out, disperse. then it makes room for this to just gently come in. More peace, more joy, more bliss, more love, right? There are things, out here that we can work on, saying affirmations, working with mantras, lots of different exercises that I've taught over the years. But when this part is working, you see that this just happens we don't have to work at it. It's just very, very natural. So that's what I have for you today. This is what it looks like again. These are the suppressed emotions. This is our innate being that really wants to come up. So this is what we feel. We get triggered. We start to feel something and we have a choice point. Are we going to go down the rabbit hole where we're going to feel worse and worse? Or are we going to simply go, oh, my system is saying, are you willing to just feel this? This is coming up to move through. This is coming up to move through. I feel it. I'm willing to feel it. I send love to myself. Gratitude. I'm sorry this is so difficult. So some of this may be like brand new for you. Others be like it's building on to things you've already known. For others, it's like a reminder. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that's helpful. You can drop me any comments that you have. My website is at melaniejwilliams.com. I just sent out a newsletter of what's coming up in February. I have a online tapping course for Tuesdays in a row, $20 each class. And we're going to be working a lot on self-love, self-acceptance. I've got continuing work on our New Year's intentions coming up. And then I do have, let's see, and then I have a brand new program on the Yamas and Niyamas, which is an online course. So there's a lot of content there. So let me know if you have interest in any of those. I send you much love. And here's to releasing more of those congested feelings so that we can have more joy and bliss in our life. All right. Happy Tuesday. Bye-bye.